NBC Sports Group.
It was a record-breaking night last night for the Phils in their first inning. What an inning it was. 13 men came to the plate, one hit after another, all singles. There were bloops, there were bunts, there were runs scored left and right. Ryan Howard gets into the mix. So does John Mayberry. Dominic Brown, who's up here, probably hit one of the hardest hit balls of the inning. Jimmy Rollins had 2 hits and 2 runs scored in the inning. Juan Pierre dumped another hit, so did Chase Utley. And the Phillies went on to an easy victory over the Mets. In fact, it was the first time in team history that they scored at least 7 runs in the first inning, and because of that grand slam, at least 7 runs in the 9th inning. And what was the crowd last night? Many Phillies fans were celebrating a 16-1 victory, which included 21 hits for the Phils to wrap up the road trip. And now the sun is shining beautifully here at Citizens Bank Park as the Phillies begin a 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves. And updated wild card standings as we speak. The Cardinals have lost to the Cubs in extra innings, so the Phils begin play tonight 3.5 games out of that final wild card spot. The Braves sitting pretty with the top wild card spot. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. Yep, the Phils are happy to be home. The final 6 regular season home games of 2012, and they're playing a lot better here at Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, how many times do we say on the air, when is this team going to start to play better in this ballpark? Because it really was shocking, Tom, watching it the way it was going. The fans were into the games. They were staying to the end, and yet the Phillies could not win in the tremendous atmosphere that's in this ballpark. Look what happened early on. Well, when were they going to start winning? Right there. In the last 29 games, 21-8. Really good numbers, especially when you look at the earned run average that the Phillies were able to throw up. They scored a few more runs. They kept them off the board a little bit better. And overall, they just played better baseball. But the atmosphere here has been good all year.
In fact, they swept out the last homestand before they went on this latest road trip. All right, tonight they deal with the Braves. And they deal with one final time, one final weekend, a guy that's been a thorn in their side since the early 90s, and Chipper Jones.
Yeah, what a great player Chipper Jones is. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer someday. This year, he just added to his legend against the Phillies. This is Chipper Jones's career to this point. He's still going to put up some more numbers with games left, what he's been able to do, an MVP, a batting champion, multiple All-Star appearances, 8-time All-Star. Now, he got the Phillies twice this year on walk-offs. This one off Brian Sanchez. You never want to see him take that little hop after he hits a ball in the air like that, because normally it means it's going to leave the ballpark. That one was pretty dramatic. It was early, but this one right here I think may have saved their season. When the Phillies were down there, the Braves were really struggling. The fans were getting on them. The media was getting on them about they're going to blow it again. And they came from nowhere to win that game that night when Chipper hit that home run off Jonathan Papelbon. So what happened in that game was a big-time player stepped up in a big spot and won the game for him. He's listened to the Larry chants here all the years. Well, it really hasn't bothered him a whole much in Philadelphia. See what he's been able to do with the number of home runs he's hit. The guy's a great player, and the league will be a little bit less, Tom, I think, for him not being in Major League Baseball anymore.
Yeah, Charlie Emanuel talked about that at length earlier today. So it is the last weekend Chipper Jones will play a baseball game here in Philadelphia. It's the Phils and the Atlanta Braves. It's game 1 of a 3-game series. Should be entertaining. The Phils still in the playoff hunt. They'll face a struggling pitcher in right-hander Tommy Henson, and he'll be opposed by Kyle Kendrick, who didn't pitch all that well in his last outing, so he is looking to bounce back here tonight. Well, the crowd's settling in, and if they got a chance to watch Ryan Howard swing the last couple of nights, Charlie Emanuel says he feels like he's seeing the ball a whole lot better. He's back in the middle. The lineup's in first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today. Series. Phillies have taken the field. Earlier tonight, the Phillies honored Chipper Jones. There was Chipper being introduced by Dan Baker, the Phillies public address announcer. And it was a beautiful introduction, which included a passage from Mike Schmidt about Chipper Jones's career. And then Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley presented Chipper with a gift on behalf of the Philadelphia Phillies organization. It is a painting from renowned artist Dick Perez, who does such beautiful work. Dick Perez has been the Phillies official artist since 1982. And for the last 25 years has been the official artist of the Baseball Hall of Fame. And a very classy move on the part of the Phillies and by the Phillies fans, too, giving him a very nice round of applause. Chipper is in the lineup tonight, which is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at center field is Michael Bourne, then Prado and Hayward, Jones, Freeman, and Uggla, and then McCann, Constanza, and Tommy Hanson. Michael Bourne will lead it off for the Atlanta Braves, and the first pitch of the night from Kyle Kendrick is taken outside, so we're underway. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Michael Bourne, a .272 hitter with 9 home runs and 56 runs batted in. He has been a struggling ball player, and he's ahead 2-0.
Well, he's like a lot of their players. They strike out a lot, even though they're having this tremendous season. There's Kyle, who's been so good lately. Last time out, struggled a little bit. Probably threw more cutters than he had in other games. Ooh. Scouting report on him: when he uses that changeup sinker mix, that's where he's really been effective. Very good against Atlanta. In fact, he kind of outthought himself the last time he pitched against these guys and got into too many pitches that were cutters and got hurt on them.
He's allowed 6 runs on 11 hits in 11 2/3 innings against the Braves so far this season. Back on the 8th of August, he allowed 6 runs in 3 1/3. Two and 2 the count to Michael Bourne. The changeup floats outside. 3-2.
Yeah, and that prompted that. Well, now it's kind of funny to think about the little stern talking to by his Prado waits on deck by his dad and, well, kind of his surrogate daddy, Charlie Manuel.
One's going to drop in for a base hit. It's to right field. A little floater off the bat of Michael Bourne. A leadoff single here in the first. Well, Wheels, the difference in pitch usage for Kendrick. First 15 starts are in red, and then the last 7 starts are kind of in that gray color. And you can see the difference. Fastball changeup more in the gray.
Right. That was a changeup he just threw, appeared to be, to Michael Bourne. But that has been a pitch that's really helped him. He's using it much more effectively, and he does use it to right-handed hitters.
So nobody out, runner at first. Martin Prado's the hitter. Prado having a good year at .300 with 9 home runs, 66 runs batted in. He takes at the knees, 0-1.
How versatile is this guy? He's playing shortstop now.
Yeah, it's his 12th game at shortstop. It's because Giannis and Simmons both are having shoulder issues. Andrelton Simmons, they think, could play tomorrow. He's going to take some ground balls, work through it a little bit tomorrow. Change up high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 12 games at shortstop for Prado, 23 games at third base, and a lion's share of his outings have been in left field. He's also played a little second base for them. Some of the guys were saying today that they put him at first base, he'd probably win a Gold Glove at first base.
He is such a good player. He has become a tremendous everyday player and a very valuable 2-hole hitter for these guys.
1-1 the count to Prado. In the air to left field. Pierre going back out to the track, has room, makes the catch. Bourne tags from first. He'll go to second and get there sliding.
That's good alert base running by Michael Bourne. Time for our Nissan Keys of the game on a really beautiful night. This is the last night of summer, you told me?
Last night of summer.
Right. And it feels like summer a little bit here tonight. KK, well, he'll pitch well against the Atlanta Braves again tonight. We've been through that great opening there where showed Chipper Jones getting the Dick Perez portrait. This is the countdown for his career, but he will not be finished when the season ends because these guys are going to be in postseason play, you would think.
Yeah, the Braves' magic number is 5 to clinch a playoff spot. Any combination of wins by the Braves and losses by the Los Angeles Dodgers will get them one of the wild card spots.
Yeah, they're going to get into that one-game playoff situation. This is the first year of that, of course, and I know everybody's really kind of anxious to see how's that going to turn out. What's the pressure involved in that?
Jason Hayward is the batter. And Hayward takes a strike. It's 0-1. Well, the Phillies are hoping that they are involved in that as well. They're 3.5 games out now behind the Cardinals, who lost in extra innings today to the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs were down 4-2 in the 9th when Darwin Barney hit a home run to tie it. And then they won it in their final at bat against the Cards in extra innings, and it's 0-2.
That was another one of those 2-out, 2-strike situations.
It was.
They just amaze you how many times that will happen in this sport. And you're down to your last pitch, and you can win a game.
Well, and the Braves really, or excuse me, the Cubs should have won the game. There was a bad call prior to the home run that would have given them 2 base runners in that inning. 0-2 pitch to Hayward. Swing and a miss. He got him with a changeup. First strikeout of the night for Kyle Kendrick.
Backed up changeups too, and that's that great graphic that we had on there with the different colors and all showing Kyle Kendrick the way that he's going to that fastball changeup mix and using that changeup against left-handed hitters. Here's Chipper Jones.
Chipper's got a very nice round of applause when he was introduced prior to the ball game when Chase and Jimmy Rollins brought out the painting from Dick Perez, and I'm sure he'll get rounds of applause a couple of times this weekend, but he'll probably hear some boos too, particularly if he does something that'll benefit the Braves.
Good changeup. They don't want to throw him first ball fastballs in RBI situations. He's always been so good at that, of hurting you. Look at how many home runs he has. What a career.
Third, second, 0-1. Chance of Larry all throughout the ballpark. Fastball on the inside corner, 0-2.
Laughed about that over the years, how many times we've sat here and heard Larry, crack, damage.
That guy's voice carries.
Be fun sitting down there near him.
Now that looked like a cutter from Kendrick, and I don't think that's the pitch that Ruiz wanted. See Chipper Jones among active players, 4th in home runs, 3rd in RBIs, 4th in hits, 3rd in doubles, 1st in game-winning RBIs.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of them this year. And Freddie Freeman on deck, who's a tough out. They do have a base open. They're not pitching around him, but they don't want to get hurt without his on something may not be his best pitch. They want to waste a fastball on him. It looks like they made up their mind to get him out on changeups, or try to.
And that was a changeup, but he hit it foul in and out of the glove of Ruiz, and it remains 0-2. Michael Bourne led off with a single, went to second on a fly ball to left, so he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
He just keeps throwing it to him, that dead fish down and away, and he keeps fouling them off. That was a sinker. Nothing middle in so far to Chipper Jones. That's a real good idea.
Got him with a changeup. He kept going back to the outside part of the plate, and he gets him swinging with a runner in scoring position. Good pitch sequence for Kyle Kendrick. He worked the outer edge with his fastball and his changeup, and he gets through the first and leaves one in scoring position. Live sports. All right. Rollins, Pierre, and Utley, followed by Howard, Ruiz, and Brown. And then John Mayberry, Kevin Franzen, and Kyle Kendrick. Do you think that lineup sounds like 8 runs and 9 hits in the first? Well, we shall see. Tommy Hanson is the pitcher. He has had an odd year because his record is okay, but the rest of his numbers are not really okay.
Lifetime in this ballpark, 1-1 in 4 starts. He has pitched well here, and this has never been a place that bothered him. Tommy Hanson, when he came into the league, as you look at his numbers there, I think he's more of a fastball curveball guy. Now he's become more fastball slider than curve.
Well, he'll face Jimmy Rollins to start off the first. Rollins had a heck of a road trip. In fact, in the series against the Mets alone, he was 4 for 11 with 3 runs scored and 2 home runs. He has 7 home runs here in the month of September, which is tied for the National League lead. He had 2 hits in the first inning last night. Paul Emmel, the home plate umpire, took an extra second to think about that call, and it's quickly 0-2. Emmel is behind the plate. Jerry Meals at first. Scott Barry's at second, and the crew chief Gary Darling is around at third. No balls, 2 strikes the count to Rollins. And a curveball waved at it, missed, one away.
Yeah, that's the way he used to pitch when he first came into the league. A lot of fastball, curveball. Now, last time out, for example, he threw 60% fastballs, 22% sliders, 15% of this yellow hammer, 12 to 6er. Did that ever get him out front?
1 out now for Juan Pierre. Pierre also had a great road trip. 10 for 18, couple RBIs, but he hit .556 on the trip. Last night, he was part of that first inning. He got on base twice.
He could easily had 5 hits last night. He had a bullet for an out.
Could have had 6
hits. I mean, yeah, because the 1 out he made was hit right on the. I forgot he got one in the 9th too.
Tied his career high with 5 hits.
That 9th inning was amazing. That came out of nowhere because the Phillies have been going up and down for the most part all night after the first inning.
1-1 the count to Pierre. Outside, 2-1.
Where Tommy Hanson fits into their postseason rotation plans. Figure Medlin and Hudson are their 1-2. That
ball's hit well to right field. Hayward on the run. How about Pierre. He doesn't go yard that often. It's off the top of the wall. He's going to get 3 out of it. On his way to third, and he'll be there standing. Gee. Juan Pierre with his 6th triple of the year. He crushed that ball.
Hit way up to the top of the wall. The only home run he has this year was that one against the Tampa Bay Rays on a Saturday afternoon when he hit a 3-run home run. And this one's out in the alley. So if he pulls this, it's out by a lot. Hayward was backed up by Bourne out there. It still turns into a triple. Jason Hayward's not going to play real deep on Juan, but he got a low fastball, and he really pumped this thing. Oh, hit the railing right on the top.
He is inches away from getting his 2nd home run of the year.
Yeah, he thought, I can't hit it any harder than that. And he knows it was a triple, too, because he saw it hit the rim. Good call by the umpires.
Yep. So Chase Utley now the hitter with a runner at third and 1 out here in the first. They play the infield back to the Braves, and a ground ball to second will get the run home. Utley will get the RBI. Pierre crosses the plate. 1-0 Phillies here in the bottom of the first.
For whatever reason, we've seen a lot of infield in the first inning in games, but the Braves decide not to do that there. And that, if they're playing the infield in, they would have gotten away with it there because that would have been an out. But you can set up a lot bigger inning by playing the infield in the first inning. So they can see the run. There's Juan Pierre. Man, I can't hit any better than that.
That was a beautiful stroke.
Well, another example. Is there a left-handed hitter in the world that isn't a low ball hitter? Even Juan Pierre will show some power like that on a pitch down.
Well, now with 2 outs, Ryan Howard is the batter. And Howard takes a slider for a strike. It's 0-1. Ryan with 53 runs batted in 64 ball games. Just 228 hitter, but 12 home runs and 53 RBIs. Miss, another slider. Good luck at McDonald's. Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Julie Schwartz of Upper Darby. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Julie will win $100.
Julie almost cashed. She was inches away.
Juan needed to have another burger from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Get that one over the fence.
How about how many balls Ryan Howard hit hard last night? That was one of his best games of the year for pure contact. And hopefully he can keep it going. But even his outs were hit hard last night. Still talking about it.
Looks like he's already caught his breath.
You know, he has probably not hit many balls much harder than that thing.
That ball's hit hard on one hop to Uggla. That is the shame of the shift for Ryan Howard. 4-3 on the putout. Phillies are retired, but they strike first. They get a run after the triple by Juan Pierre. A ground out by Chase Utley. Pierre went down and he got that one. I think everybody in the yard thought it was a home run, but Pierre settles for the triple and eventually the run scored. Largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Phillies shop. To the top of the second we go. Freddie Freeman will lead it off. Freeman with 20 home runs and 88 RBIs. Back-to-back 20 home run seasons for the young first baseman.
He's also struck out over 100 times, 112. They have a lot of strikeouts in their lineup. Still been able to do enough. But the way they beat you is they shorten the game with that unbelievable bullpen.
Yeah, they're fourth in the league in strikeouts as a team with 1,182 coming into this ball game. And they've already gone down twice tonight.
But they hit home runs. They have some speed. And Freddie Gonzalez's team is scoring enough this year to get ahead in games and then turn it over to those guys in the bullpen. And they don't blow many. We saw one of them when Eric Kratz hit that home run
against Craig Kimbrell, who has been lights out since that home run.
And before that home run.
Here's the 2-2 to Freeman. Missed it side and low. 3-2. Freeman has driven in 88, but he's also scored 85. Ball 4, and he does that often too. Works out a walk. It'll bring Dan Uggla to the plate. During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream sold and consumed to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Speaking of strikeouts, Dan Uggla has struck out 158 times this year.
Yeah, after we were down there, they were talking about shutting him down for a while, but he played his way back into the lineup. He didn't sit for long. He's still such a dangerous hitter. That's the thing about him. And at any moment he can pop one, but then he can look so bad for long periods of time.
That ball's hit hard. That's a fair ball down the left field line. Shoots off the half fence. Juan Pierre will get to it, but Freeman's on his way to third. And Uggla's at second. Second and third with nobody out.
And Juan Pierre has to go towards the stands there and then guard that it doesn't get into the corner on him. And if it hits off the box seats or if the seats down there, well, then you figure it's going to be a double anyway. There it goes. If it gets down into the corner, maybe the guy from first can score on the double.
Phillies, like the Braves in the bottom of the first, will play the infield back for Brian McCann. McCann 3 for 8 in the last series for the Braves.
McCann's a perfect guy to have up now because you want to hit it to the right side and get a run in and get another runner over. And he's a pull hitter.
6 home runs this year against the Phillies. And he takes a cutter for a strike. It's 0-1. Brian McCann a couple of percentage points above the National League average and getting a runner home from third with less than 2 outs. Kyle has won 3 straight here at Citizens Bank Park. Opposition hitting just 173 during that stretch. And his earned run average 2.11. Ground ball right side. Freeman's going to come home. And McCann will get the RBI. The game tied at 1.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did, is get him over, get him in. Now they want more out of him because he's hitting 7th and not 5th like he is some other times when he's hitting better. But still, they get the game tied, and depending on what happens here, they have a chance to take the lead. Pitcher on deck is not likely to hurt you.
Tommy Hanson, no. No.
1 for 46 with 29 strikeouts.
Well, they'll play the infield in for Constanza. And he hits one right back to the box, and Uggla's coming home. He went on contact for some reason, and Franzen will apply the tag. Constanza goes to second. Bad base running for Uggla. 1-2-5 on the putout. And the fielder's choice puts the second out on the board.
Well, the reason they probably would figure they would go on contact there is because the pitcher's up. Here's the play. And you know, if he gets to second base, fine, but the rundown right there, there's that fake. Love that when they do that, because that's going to freeze again. My point being, you go on contact there, I think, because the pitcher's up next, and if the ball's hit left, right, anywhere of the fielder, you steal the run that way. If it's hit right at a fielder, your guy's dead. But you're dead anyway. With this guy coming up with 2 outs.
There's a check swing ground ball picked by Kendrick. 1-3 on the putout. The Braves score 1, but that's it. Pretty good damage control by Kyle Kendrick. Atlanta leaves 1. We go to the bottom of the second. It's the Braves 1 and the Phillies 1. With Comcast Sportsnet on TV and online. Get updated stats, scores from around the league, and news from our team of insiders. Check out In-Game Live now at csnphilly.com. 1-1 the score as we go to the bottom of the second. You know, all season long we've been talking about folks submitting their photos with the Fanatic Dangle hat on. We wanted to see what would be the best photo from the farthest distance. Alaska is far. Well, there's no question about that. So is San Francisco. That young lady from Alcatraz. Now, you might think that's far, but what about Austria? Austria's far. Now, whether that's the farthest or not, I'm not sure, because there was also a photo I saw from Russia. Now, South Philadelphia is not that far, but they still look sharp.
Those were just the A's?
That may have just been the A's. We're rolling through the alphabet wheels as the weekend moves on.
I thought there was a pattern developing there.
Carlos Ruiz leads it off here at the bottom of the second in a 1-1 game.
Maybe we'll get one from Denmark.
I didn't see Denmark. I didn't see Buffalo. I didn't see the Cannes Film Festival.
So like Bangkok, Thailand, or anything?
No.
Once the bees come up.
I did see Russia, though. That caught my eye. We have a while, though, for Russia.
Yeah.
1-1 pitch to Ruiz. Outside and low, 2-1. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, we'll keep an eye on what's going on down in Washington. What we know is that Adam LaRoche is homered again, a 2-run shot. Jonathan Lucroy is homered 2 for Milwaukee. And it's 2-1, Washington on top.
You go over that amazing season the Nationals have had, and it's really hard not to look at LaRoche as the MVP of that team. he stayed healthy for the most part, which he hasn't been able to do. And what a job he's done. Because how many runs does he save with his glove over there at first base?
Well, plus he's a free agent after the season's over. There is an option they could pick up, but they got some other parts that they may have to move over to first base.
Exactly. But for one season, Adam LaRoche has just been, and we saw him in spurts, especially with the Atlanta Braves, when he could really hurt you with his power. And he's a sneaky good player.
Following the walk to Ruiz, Dominic Brown will settle into the box. Dominic was 2 for 7 in the series against the Mets. I should say 3 for 7. Takes way inside.
Well, that weird collection of hits in the first inning last night. He's the one who hit the ball hard, really hard. Mets threw up a 3 spot tonight in the first inning after that awful game last night.
It's only the second time since the middle of August that they've had an inning with more than 1 run.
And 3 runs or less in so many games there at Citi Field this year for them.
They've not scored more than 3 runs in a game since the 12th of August.
Well, now they have 3. Well, what a series he had.
At least the last 10 innings.
Yeah, right. Well, he picked right up tonight. As you mentioned, he hit that right into that shift. That's one of those things. But he hit another ball right on the nose. And for Ryan Howard, if he could finish this season making good contact like he is, that has to be good for between the ears.
1-1 the count to Brown. Curve ball hit toward first. A fair ball. Freeman steps on the bag, throws out Ruiz at second. And that's a double play.
Talking about good defense at first baseman. How about that guy?
Freddie Freeman has made 10 errors this year, but every time the Phillies see him, he seems to make every play.
And that's the guy whose head's in the game, too, because watch what he does. He knows he has a slow runner going to second. So the bag's right there. I'm going to get it. Now, obviously, you're going to have a tag play at second. Real fast runner, maybe he doesn't do that. But steps on the bag, and then the shortstop, Prado, of course, knows that he has to put the tag on him, and they complete the 3-6.
2 outs. John Mayberry's the batter. Mayberry takes a breaking ball for strike 1. John had 3 hits in the series against the Mets. Ugla positioned perfectly will take care of him to wrap up the bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left for the Phillies. 2 of the books here in South Philadelphia. Fans are settling in. The fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, here's the question. Name the pitcher who the Braves wanted to select instead of Chipper Jones with the first overall pick in 1990. Who the Braves wanted to select instead of Chipper Jones. Answer will be revealed in the 7th inning.
Why wouldn't they have selected him?
I can't give you all the information.
It's a good question, though, isn't it?
It is. I believe it was a financial situation.
Because back in those days, it could have been.
Michael Bourne singled his first time up.
I just like to try to help the fans.
Outside, and it's 2-0. I will tell you that this young man did not become the player that Chipper Jones has become.
Did he eventually get pick number 2?
No. At the knees, it's 2-1. A foul ball, and it remains, or it goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Kendrick has had a very nice second half to the 2012 season. 16 games, 9 starts, 7-3, an ERA of 2.73. And he just picked up another strikeout as Bourne goes down swinging. 3rd strikeout overall for Kyle.
Looked like he tried to foul something off the last second. It was hanging.
Well, there you see the splits, Wheels. First half, kind of erratic, 2 and 8. Earned run average nearly 5. Second half, pretty good.
See what he throws him, because it was really hittable, like a cutter. And Michael, he's trying to, how'd I miss that one?
Martin Prado is 0 for 1. He flied to left his first time up. Change up, well, excuse me, fastball, and it's 0-1. Oh, looked like it floated right on in, but it was a sinker. He's throwing more cutters tonight than he has been.
You know, last time out he threw more cutters than he had in those other games.
Down and away, 3-1 to Prado, who's flying out to deep left his first time up.
So when Prado gets dangerous with a long ball, he'll hit a lot of balls the other way. In fact, John Mayberry moved over about 6-7 steps towards left center because he's in a pull count here. And he got a late swing. But Prado will go out early in the count, and then in these type of counts, he'll pull. When he's behind, he'll hit it the other way. Now Mayberry just moved back over the same 6 steps he had gone over on the 3-1. Maybe thinking they're going to stay away from him and he's going to hit the ball to the opposite field.
And he lines it to right center field for a base hit. Dominic Brown cuts it off. Prado stops at first. And Jason Hayward is coming up. 2 more games against the Atlanta Braves this weekend. Tomorrow, standing room only tickets are available. That is a 4:05 first pitch. It's Sherman Heritage Day at the ballpark. Sunday, there are seats available. Go to Phillies.com and purchase your tickets. The Total Performance Engine Oils Cole Hamels action figurine, free to fans 14 and under. Beautiful crowd on hand tonight for this one.
Beautiful night.
Jason Hayward struck out his only time up. And he starts him off with a cutter on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. 70 degrees and clear.
On the last official night of summer.
At some point tomorrow morning is when it turns to fall, Wheels.
It'll probably get a little cooler because it knows. Said by Sunday it's really going to be cool.
60s.
The seasons they just know.
I'd like them to forget every once in a while, though.
Especially winter. They
No,
forget winter completely.
Yeah. Maybe a couple weeks. No?
Well, I understand what you mean. Maybe Christmas. Really uses changeup well against Hayward first inning. Hayward stands so far off the plate now, but it started to work for him this year. And he looks vulnerable away, and yet he can attack that pitch out there and do damage against teams. But look how far off the plate he is. You see it really, see it on that shot, and now from the center field camera, you really get a look at how far off the plate. Look at that. Look at this.
Long arms and long legs, and he can't reach that pitch.
No.
Second strikeout of Jason Hayward, the 4th overall for Kendrick.
There's something going down like that and away from him and slow. He's struggling with it. When he first came up, they used to jam him at will. So I guess this is what he's decided to do. You see Carlos bang that glove on the ground. Like, come on, let's stay out here. We've got him chasing. We don't have to throw him a strike. And they got him twice that way.
Carlos catching Kyle Kendrick tonight. That's a pretty good sign that he is starting to turn it on again. Caught last night. Or, excuse me, caught 2 nights ago. There's a fly ball to left field. Pierre going back. He has room. A step on the track makes the catch. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. We'll touch up our makeup and be back in the tie ball game. Bottom line sales event ends October 1st. Visit choosenissan.com or your local dealer. Buy McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size soft drink or sweet tea is $1. And buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play The Price is Right. The new instant game for the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. Bottom of the 3rd. Tied up at 1. Kevin Franzen, Kyle Kendrick, and Jimmy Rollins will lead it off against right-hander Tommy Hansen. Franzen up for the first time. His average at .329 with a home run and 12 runs batted in. Takes outside. It's 1-0.
Center field, right center field home run off Strasburg. That's his homer. Crushed in Washington that night.
Well, then he's due, Wheels, to get another one.
Yeah. Really, I'm surprised he didn't get another one after he saw that thing.
There you go. Deep to left field. Kevin Franzen has given the Phillies the lead. 2-1 here in the bottom of the 3rd.
He'll enjoy that back and forth.
I would think he would enjoy it. Tommy Hansen's allowed 24 home runs this year. And that was a long one off the bat of Kevin Franzen to give the Phils the lead again.
Well, he's hit 2 this year, and they're both, no doubt about it, homers. And what we're talking about off Strasburg, this pitch is down, it looked like, and he golfed it, and he knew it. Oh, yeah. As Tom said, that thing's way out. That thing's out in Atlanta.
And Julie Schwartz of Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, has just won $100 courtesy of the McDonald's home run jackpot. Kyle Kendrick is the batter, and Kendrick takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Julie deserved that after how close she came earlier on Pierre's ball.
And she didn't even know it.
Didn't even know it.
0-2 to Kendrick. Kyle, 156 hitter. Swing and a miss. 1 out.
When he finds out about how we almost willed him to hit another home run there, he will really enjoy that.
So 2 outs. Back to the top of the order for Jimmy Rollins. Let's bring in Murph, who had a chance to talk to Franzen. Or 1 out. Let's bring in Murph, who had a chance to talk to Franzen about Chipper Jones earlier today. Go ahead, Murph.
Yeah, that's right, T-Mac. It's Kevin that's providing the fireworks tonight so far, but I did have a good conversation with him about Chipper Jones. He said, when he was growing up, he grew up in California, and, most of the time they didn't know about East Coast players in California, but Chipper Jones was on national television all the time, and everybody knew about Chipper, and he just enjoyed watching him. And he said from a baseball standpoint, what Chipper Jones has been able to do from both sides of the plate, and all with one organization, has just been remarkable. But what really struck me with what Franzen said, he said, but what he likes best right now about Chipper Jones is that he's going out on his own terms, and he's going out after having what has been a terrific season. So it's just remarkable that a guy who has played as well as he has this year is going to hang him up, and Franzen really respected that.
Well, Freddie Gonzalez was saying before the ball game, because somebody asked him about him retiring after this year because his numbers are so good. And Freddie said, yeah, I know they are. I watched him hit a few walk-off home runs this year, but I see how painful it is for him to get himself ready for games. So Freddie said, I understand why he thinks that this is the last year for him. Juan Pierre hits one to left. Constanza is there and makes the catch. The side is retired, but the Phillies retake the lead. Thanks to Kevin Franzen's second home run of the season. Steven Strasburg to center field was his first one. Tommy Hanson to left field was his second one. AtHome.com to find branded products you want at low prices you'll love. Who but WB Mason at home. Top of the 4th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies are on top 2-1. Every game is a must-win for the Phils, and they've got a pretty difficult schedule. With the 3 against the Braves, 6 against the Nationals, and then 3 down in Miami before the end of the year. Freddie Freeman walked his last time up and scored the only run. Swing and a miss and a change up. 0-1.
And Kyle got ahead of him last time, as you pointed out, Tom. This guy does walk. Freeman has a very good eye. He'll strike out quite a bit, but he'll walk a lot, and his on-base percentage is pretty good. He likes to use the middle of the field.
Little comeback sinker. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that was a good one. Froze him. Although I think Freeman didn't think it was a strike. That was a good pitch.
Mentioned that Carlos Ruiz is back behind the plate. Carlos did not play last night, but played the day before. He's playing tonight. You figure he's going to play tomorrow with Roy Halladay on the mound, and he's probably going to play on Sunday with Cliff Lee on the mound.
Then a day off Monday for the whole team.
So 3 in a row before the off day on Monday. Good sign that he is feeling healthy. On the disabled list with the plantar fasciitis, there's Eric Kratz.
He had a good night last night. Like
he did.
Almost everybody did.
Broke his bat. Grounder left side. Rollins backhands. Washington Nationals will be in town Tuesday after the off day on Monday. Tuesday is Goya Latino Family Night at the ballpark. Wednesday is a 7:05 game, and so is Thursday. In fact, Thursday is Fan Appreciation Night at the ballpark. Order your tickets now at Phillies.com. The Nats' magic number to clinch the East is 8. Any combination of 8 wins or 8 losses by the Braves will give the Nationals the National League East title. Washington becomes the first DC franchise in Major League Baseball to enter the postseason since 1933.
Well, congratulations to them. They've had a really good year. They deserve it.
Ugla takes at the knees, 0-2.
They have earned it.
Ugla doubled his first time up.
Cal got out of that inning with just the 1 run.
Franza with a long throw.
That's a really good play makes there. Sometimes when he has more time to throw or is charging the ball, he takes a little bit off it, he'll bounce it. That one right there, he has to take that deep and then get a lot on it, really let it go. And you could see he has arm strength on that. Really good play.
Two outs for McCann, who grounded out his first time up. He has an RBI. Strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Over to shortstop. This should be an easy inning for Kendall. Rollins takes care of McCann. 3 ground ball outs to finish up the 4th. Nothing across. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Phillies nursing a 1-run lead. not worth building. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Toyota, every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. In the bottom of the fourth, it'll be Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, and Carlos Ruiz. Sarge, by the way, is overdoing radio with Scott Fransky and Jim Jackson. LA is off tonight, so Wheels is here in the booth. Right, it's the fourth inning, so Jim Jackson is doing that.
That is correct. Jim Jackson is over on radio right now with Sarge. Sarge normally is right here in this chair, offering those pearls of wisdom. You guys are funny together, I'll tell you. Make me laugh.
Chase takes a strike. It's 0-1. Sarge was wearing a hat today behind the cage that, well, let's just say it was one of his smaller hats.
Well put.
0-1 the count to Utley. And he takes a breaking ball. Strike 2. 0-2.
He didn't have to worry about what shirt to wear tonight.
He's very happy about that.
How's he say that guy he's working with?
Jim Jackson. Sometimes they'll call him Jim Johnson, but
Jim Johnson.
Poor JJ.
Well, JJ knows at least it's still JJ.
There they are. Sarge to the right and Jim Jackson in the middle. In the dirt. 1-2 the count. And there's Scott with Gus.
Gus, you're on TV. Look at that.
Gus is playing with Scott's egg timer. You know, as broadcasters sometimes on radio, you have that little egg timer in front of you to tell you when you should tell the score again.
It's Red Barber. That was his thing.
And Utley will take care of Utley in a very awkward way.
I just saw Gus outside. I got a nice high from him, and I asked him where his friend Tharge was, because that's what he calls Sarge, is Tharge.
Yep.
He said, in there.
There he is. It looks like he's got one of the sausages from Milwaukee that he's taking care of. He's looking at the big screen. Am I on the big screen? Ryan Howard grounded out to second also, but sharply his first time up. Howard takes outside. Hanson's throwing a buffet of breaking pitches in this inning, sliders and curveballs.
Yeah, he used to be, we mentioned earlier, a big curveball guy. And, you know, teams want to throw Ryan Howard a lot of off-speed pitches. And curves and sliders. Hanson's not going to throw a whole lot of changeups. He's had a lot of physical problems. He doesn't throw as hard as he did when he first came in. Fastball averaging right around 89 to 90. Whereas before, I think if you would have had those numbers, they're probably more like 92 to 93 average. There you go with his fastball, slider. Very few changeups, just 2%.
In the dirt, and it's 3-1 to Howard. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Ryan hits it in the air to right center field. Hayward going back. It is gone! Off the hands of the fans and into the Phillies bullpen. It's 3-1 Phillies. And Ryan Howard is a step closer to 300 home runs for his career. That's number 299.
When you watch his timing right now, his balance, just started to pick it up in the last couple games. And that was a breaking ball that he hit there, where the way he's been going lately, he would have swung and missed at it or rolled it up. Look at him. Oh, that is a perfect swing. Just waited on it and then crushed it to right center field. Timing, balance, everything is going really well for him right now. That has to feel great.
13 home runs, 54 runs batted in. I know I keep saying this every time he picks up another RBI, but you know, just spread that across, let's say, 150 games. Yeah. And he would have well over 100 RBIs. That ball's hit well, deep to left field, going back Constanza. It is gone! Back to back for Howard and Ruiz. And the Phillies lead is at 3. It's 4-1 here in the bottom of the fourth.
Tommy Hanson just does not have the fastball that he used to have. He looked like he got one down the middle a little bit there to Carlos Ruiz, and down in the zone. Carlos likes that ball down too. Good swing. Hits it out of the ballpark to left center field. It looked like it was about thigh high on that replay. Here we get a better look at it here. There's that pitch. Yep, right about knee to thigh high.
7th time this year the Phillies have gone back-to-back in home runs. Dominic Crowd had a really good pitch to make it back-to-back.
Crowd got a little excited on that one. As soon as it went in the air, it throws another homer.
Well, for the Phillies tonight, 3 home runs, and for each home run hit this year by the Phils, 1 tree, so that means 3, will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees, a partnership between the Phillies, PHS, and Aramark. Home Runs for Trees is part of Plant 1 Million, a project to restore the region's tree coverage. For more information, visit phillies.com/red goes green.
Big guy like that has a big swing. Timing is just so important to him. And right now, his timing is really good. His outs are hit hard, let alone that bomb he just hit.
John Mayberry grounded out his first time up, 0 for 1, 2 outs here in the 4th.
Best thing for Ryan Howard to do right now, don't even think about what he's doing. Just do it. It's easy to say, but you start thinking about, why am I swinging so well? Next thing you know, you're in a slump.
Downstairs today with Sarge and Charlie. Charlie was talking about Ryan's swing and just how he felt he was seeing the ball better. He said he was getting there with his weight shift. You talked about balance.
Yeah.
Charlie talked about that too.
Could really see the balance. That was a great replay we had from the side where you could see him load up on the back foot and then let it go at just the right time on a breaking ball, which is an off-speed pitch. Of course, we can get out front and just time it perfectly. And they hope during the offseason with some things he can do that he'll be able to be better next year because he'll be healthy.
1-2 the count to Mayberry. A little low, 2-2.
Hanson still looks like the same guy throwing that fastball downhill, but he just doesn't have. Look at that. Look at him load up and then just pop it at just the right time. That's pretty to watch. Great replay from that angle.
Ooh. Well, that looked like it may have been outside by the time it crossed the plate, but it turns out to be a strikeout looking. The Phillies a little damaged in this inning. 2 solo home runs. The first one by Ryan Howard. The way he reacted, I don't think he was sure it was going to be out. Carlos Ruiz, I think everybody thought this one was going to be out. So the Phils with 3 homers tonight, now leading 4-1 as we head to the top of the first. Citizens Bank Park, the Phillies on top 4-1. 3 home runs, 3 solo shots. Kyle Kendrick will go back to work here in the 5th. He's retired 5 in a row.
He swings at that, he's out. He literally, the front foot was out of the batter's box. He was just faking it. Why would you even do that?
Off the plate. That's going to be a tough play. Utley flips it with his glove in time. You want to talk about a play that needed to happen quickly? Well, the touch and the toss had to happen very fast for the out to be recorded.
You brought that up the other night, Tom, that he makes that play as well as anybody, and he does. He times it in the glove and a nice soft flip, because that Constanza can absolutely burn coming out of that batter's box. Everything had to go right, and it did. And look, oh, he stepped on his foot too. Ryan Howard was on the outside part of the bag, and that guy steps on his foot.
Well, that'll bring Tommy Hanson to the plate. Tommy Hanson is 1 for 47 this year. He's hitting .021.
But I told you this afternoon, when we were just kidding around about some things, why don't you look up Bob Buell?
Now, Bob Buell, who pitched for the Phillies,
The Braves,
had himself a couple of okay years as a hitting pitcher.
However,
but there were 2 years, one in which he was 0 for 70, and the other year where he was 0 for 69.
It's amazing, isn't it? I didn't realize it was that bad, but I remember when he was with the Phillies, he was the worst looking hitter you ever saw.
Now, with that said, Kendrick is behind 3-0 now to Hanson.
Right. That's where you can't do it now, because they didn't have video like we have now. But it would be so neat if you could pull up video of Bob Buell, because you would laugh watching that.
3-2 the count. Hanson wasn't picking the bat off his shoulder. Now he might have to. He had a lot of at bats too, Bob Buell.
Well, he's good major league pitcher for a long time. He was unfortunately involved in one of the worst deals the Phillies ever made, when they went for pitching and brought Larry Jackson and Bob Buell over here, and they traded a guy named Ferguson Jenkins for him.
Gave up pitching for pitching.
Yeah, they gave up a Hall of Famer. I think Adolfo Phillips was in that deal, and another guy named John Hernstein.
8 groundouts now for Kyle Kendrick. They'll probably talk about it tonight on Sports Night. Plus, they'll bring in Brian Westbrook and Derek Gunn as they break down Sunday's Eagles game with reports on the key injuries as they prepare for the Cardinals. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night tonight after postgame live only on Comcast Sports Night. Michael Bourne is 1 for 2. It's no balls and 1 strike. 8 ground ball outs, 2 flyouts, and 4 strikeouts.
Sinker, changeup combination will get you ground balls.
There's the changeup, and it's 0-2.
Michael Bourne started thinking about being a free agent. He really struggled.
I figure they started talking to him more about it, folks in the media, at the All-Star break, because he was an All-Star.
Yeah.
And he had great numbers.
Tearing it up.
211 hitter in his last 55 ball games.
What a humbling game.
Outside, 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. 5 strikeouts tonight for Kendrick. He's retired 8 consecutive batters. Done a nice job so far. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Phillies up by 3. Owens award winners were presented with their trophies. Down there were Jeff and Kevin Owens, the grandsons of the great Paul Owens, along with Marty Walliver, Phillies director of scouting. And Darren Ruff received it for his offense, and Tyler Cloyd received it for his pitching. There are the numbers for Cloyd and Ruff. Cloyd 15-1 combined this year down in the minor leagues. Darren Ruff 38 home runs, 104 RBIs. So congratulations for those guys. I think it's kind of neat when they're presented with the awards when they're in uniform here at the ballpark.
Yeah. We had Freddie Galvis up here last year, right?
Freddie Galvis was up, so was Trevor May.
Yep.
And Franzen takes low.
They, of course, were not in uniform. They were up here in street clothes, hoping to be in uniform someday.
Now, you were looking down on the field and you saw Jeff and Kevin Owens, and you're thinking, man, those guys are really tall. Well, they are, and they were both very good basketball players in college. Yeah. And Pope was proud and would be really proud the way his grandsons have turned out.
Yeah. Pope used to go to see those Penn games. He was a fixture there.
I think I saw just about every one of Jeff's games against Princeton.
Paul Owens, what a good man he was. What a smart baseball man.
Kevin Franzen hits it to deep right center field, but Jason Hayward is there.
Here's Kevin last time up. Got a low fastball, looked like, and golfed it out of the ballpark. Hit a long way, almost 400 feet to left center field. He's hit 2 home runs this year, and they have both been bombs.
One away as Franzen will take care of his batting gloves, his elbow guard, everything else. And Kyle Kendrick is up. No, 1-3-0 count to one pitcher, 1-3-0 count to the other pitcher.
Yeah. Pitchers know that too. They're just trying so hard to throw a strike, and then sometimes they can't. Kyle's 3rd walk of the year.
Eagle eye.
Yeah. That low hands that he uses. Sees the ball better that way.
Well, he's aboard for Rollins, who's 0 for 2. now that's funny. Thanks, Rollins, for the home run jackpot on Monday. Rollins takes a strike.
See what Freeman's going to do with him down there at first base. Sort of keep Kyle Kendrick close, but try to jump out and take the hole away from Jimmy Rollins. There you see where the first baseman is. He's going to back up rapidly and then move out towards the hole.
Oh, 2 the count. That ball went right over the head of Pat Pickwell of Churchtown.
Is that who won the contest?
No, excuse me. She won the home run jackpot. And Rollins hit that home run the other day. So Patty?
Nothing like saying thank you in person.
I was going to say.
Very nice. Very nice personal touch.
Rollins down looking. And there are 2 outs. That was a pretty good slider. 4 strikeouts for Tommy Hanson. Phillies are accepting applications for the 2013 Ball Girls. Requirements include strong interpersonal skills and outgoing personality, softball experience and knowledge of the game of baseball. Flexible schedules. You must be 18 years of age or older. Submit a resume and a 2-minute DVD highlighting your softball experience. That's what Rachel did. and why you should be considered to the Phillies. Citizens Bank Park. Attention ball girl applicant. 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Deadline for submissions is October 15th. The error is 1 for 2. Tripled and scored in the first. Flied out to left his last time up. Ground ball right side. And Ugg will flip casually to Prado. And that brings the 5th inning to a close. 5 in the books. Phillies have homered 3 times against Tommy Hanson. On to the 6th inning. The Phil's up 3. Is producing in September when it's needed most. After the Phillies traded Shane Victorino in July, John Mayberry's role changed and he was ready for the increased playing time. All season he has continued to hit nearly 300 against left-handed pitching, while his everyday role has been productive as well, delivering in key situations and hitting well above 300 during the final month. John's role is key down the stretch, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross, changing the game. Well, Kyle Kenrick has certainly been changing the game out on the mound after a rough outing where he said he let his team down in Houston last weekend. He's come out and he's thrown very well so far through 5. He's allowed 1 run on 3 hits. He has struck out 5, and now he'll begin the 6th against Martin Prado, Jason Hayward, and Chipper Jones. This is his 4th game of the season against the Atlanta Braves, and it's his 3rd start. Nice to see him adjusting after he struggled, because he really did struggle in that game against Houston. Now, the Phillies also struggled offensively that night. That was the 5-0 loss.
It's funny to see how many cutters. It didn't seem like it, but they say he threw 51% cutters that last start, 33 fastballs and 16 changeups.
You know, that could be correct. And you know why I think that, Wheels? He was really struggling with the command of his changeup early on. And he was probably looking for another pitch to help him get through it.
And when he uses a cutter too much, the last time he did it was against these guys, and that's what prompted him to start throwing so many changeups.
See, right there, as he works ahead 0-1, that was the cutter.
He had a lot of trouble with his changeup, as you said early in that game in Houston.
It's floating outside. Prado's 1 for 2. He's flied out and he's singled to right. A little low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. There is some subtlety to Kyle's cutter, where it doesn't have the same crisp break as, let's say, Tyler Cloyd. But it's got enough break. That was a sinker on the hands, 1 out. And that's 9 groundouts for Kendrick. Another peek at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Toyota. Yankees are shutting out the A's 1-0. C.C. Sabathia has 8 strikeouts and is not allowed a hit through the first 5 against Oakland. Yankees lead the Orioles by a game in the East. They've won 5 straight.
Hayward hits it to left center field. Mayberry, a long run, but it's going to hang up there for him.
Hayward looked like he was going to swing early in that at bat instead of having that changeup later on.
Wheels, it's time now for the Subway Surprise. And the surprise is the AL Central standings. Why is it a surprise that the White Sox are leading? Well, they've had some turnover. They've also turned over their dugout to Robin Ventura. And without any major league or minor league managerial experience, he has them in first place over the Detroit Tigers.
I wonder if he even manages kids' little league teams. They say he had no managerial experience.
He brought in a guy to be his bench coach who had minor league managerial experience in Mark Parents. And his hitting coach is one of our favorites, the great Jeff Manto.
Yeah, and Joe McEwing's there too, isn't he?
Joe McEwing is there.
Big Philly or local and Phillies connection, because Mark Parent had been with the Phillies for a number of years, a minor league manager, and was very well thought of.
And Joe McEwing, of course, from the same neck of the woods as Jeff Manto, that Bristol area where he went to Bishop Egan High School, then Bishop Egan High School, which eventually became Conwell Egan. Two and one the count to Chipper. Gary Darling said no swing. Over to the right side, Utley into shallow right, has it and throws out Jones. Boy, another ground out for Kyle Kenner. Another 1-2-3 inning. 3 straight 1-2-3 innings for KK. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Chase Utley will lead it off when we get back. PG. Go further. Visit your Quality Plus Ford store today. By WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. By AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. Home half of the 6th inning. It is good to be home here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies have enjoyed it so far, leading it 4-1. They'll send Chase Utley to the plate to start off the bottom of the 6th. Utley, Howard, and Ruiz. Hanson's only at 80 pitches right now as we begin the 6th. Probably a little bit more than the Braves would want him, but considering he's given up 4 runs on 4 hits.
Angel's been victimized by the home run ball tonight. He's throwing his ground balls too.
Outside and high, 2-0.
Kind of a tweener game for the Braves. I mean, that's a much more important game for the Phillies than for them.
They still feel like they, I mean, I know it's a long shot at this point, but mathematically they still feel like they have a chance to win the division. They're 5.5 out.
Yeah.
They're 6 out in the loss column.
Yeah, running out of games. You say mathematically, but they're not. Washington would have to go through something right now at the end they haven't gone through all year.
It takes 3-0 and it's 3-1. But I think if you're the Braves after a 9-18 September a season ago, and they were all part of it, maybe not Constanza as much as the others, but Hayward was, Freeman was, Brian McCann certainly was. You have to have that mindset that let's go after the division. And then if it's the wild card, it's the wild card.
Well, they have to go after it. And that's a great point. And what they need to do is put the pedal to the metal, too, because they fell back last year and they just had a horrible time, and they could not beat the Phillies at the end of the year when the Phillies used a lot of their regulars, but also gave them a chance to beat them. There's Ryan Howard hitting that slider out into the bullpen. Bounce and then went into the bullpen. He crushed that thing.
Because I have to correct myself. I looked up at the board and I didn't realize it was Kendrick's pitch count that was up there. 80 through 6, which is good. Hansen has thrown, that's 68.
Yeah, he has.
I thought it was lower. When I looked up and saw 80, I thought, huh.
Well, 80 didn't sound that outrageous.
I just figured the way he had cruised around those home runs as Gehring starts to throw in the pen.
The Braves should have learned something from what happened to them last year at the end of the season. When September 1st rolled around, they were as good a lock as anybody to be in postseason, and they didn't even make it.
Utley goes, pitch is taken for a strike, throw to second, not in time. Chipper Jones was there to apply the tag. That's the 9th stolen base of the year.
He ran on a curveball. Chipper Jones came up as a shortstop, one of the bigger shortstops, so he didn't cover the bag a whole lot like this. He takes that throw way in front of the bag, and you have no chance to get the tag on the guy from where he caught it.
I think he almost startled Utley when he was chasing him down with the tag. Well, you can run on Henson, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that's 28 successful now out of 39. But Ryan Howard right now has been pulling the ball and hitting it so hard and hitting it well that you would think he'd be able to pull the ball now and get chased to third. Get another run out of this maybe. They'll have to pull the infield in if they get a runner over there now with the score the way it is.
Play on, and Utley's back.
That was a really good timing play they put on there. Chase was leaning a little bit, getting his walking lead. They almost got him. Watch him lean and getting that walking lead, and then here he sneaks in. 1001, 1002, throw it. Or something like that, whenever they use as their timing play. That was back in the Babe Ruth League. That's what we used to use.
I think they're using 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Is that the way they do it now?
Or 1 potato, 2 potato.
Yeah, we counted 1001, 1002, and then break. That was Charlie Crest's ball back in those days.
Howard lays off. It gets away from McCann. That'll enable Utley to go to third. A wild pitch, the 6th of the year for Hansen.
Bounce a curveball. Now the infielders are saying, Freddie, you don't really want us to come in now, do you? They're going to almost have to. There's the breaking ball in the dirt. Hits the chest protector, but squirts away. Utley easily gets a third. How would you like to be the right side of their infield right now? Up that close.
Particularly with some of the balls that Howard's hit the last 2 days.
Scary.
Howard fouls it back. It remains 2-2.
Did they flinch? That was funny to watch. All three of them just flinch. They're looking at each other. Woo.
Freeman's probably used to it more than the others because he generally plays up. Ugla Prado maybe not as used to it.
No.
Swing and a miss. Good curveball from Hansen, his 5th strikeout.
He really fooled him. One of the poorer swings that he's had lately. Got him way out front.
Oh, with 1 out and a runner at 3rd, let's check in with Murph. It's time for the Major League Notebook. Murph.
All right, thank you, T-Mac. Yes, brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy College, and the Milwaukee Brewers are doing everything they can, trying to get any advantage to sneak into that final playoff spot. They acquired Yorvi Torrealba today from the Blue Jays for cash. Torrealba will provide some depth at the catcher position as they make this late season run. And really, guys, the big story in baseball, of course, in the Major League Notebook is Melky Cabrera pulling himself out of the chance of winning the batting title in the National League, saying that he didn't want to taint the competition. Of course, Melky Cabrera has been suspended for 50 games for using performance-enhancing drugs. So right now, Andrew McCutchen of the Pittsburgh Pirates in the lead for the National League batting title. And kind of an interesting move for Melky Cabrera, asking to be taken out of consideration. They actually had to make a one-time rule change to allow that to happen, so he is no longer eligible, guys.
Yeah, in fact, Rule 10.22a would enable Major League Baseball to add 1 plate appearance to Melky Cabrera's line to enable him to win the batting title. Otherwise, he wouldn't qualify. And as Murph said, he initiated it with the Players Association. And there are some folks that are saying that it's an unprecedented act, and it probably is. I think it takes a lot of guts to do it if you're Melky Cabrera, and I think it's, it'll be interesting to see what the reaction is around baseball over the next couple of days. And Murph, we may talk to you again before the end of the night, but since we're not on the air tomorrow, we have to wish you a happy birthday
thank you
a day before. So happy birthday.
Thank you. Getting older. Yeah.
It would be a lot nicer if we had a telecast and they could do to you some of the things that have been done to some of the others.
Yeah, it was perfectly planned that we have tomorrow off. That's what I would say.
But there's still Sunday.
Yeah,
it's true, Murph. You may not be out of the woods yet.
There's plenty of time to embarrass me, I'm sure.
Keep looking over your shoulder with this group.
I mean, at this point in all of our lives, Murph, with that, as old as we are, Wheels and myself and Sarge and everyone else, we'll probably forget.
You know what? I'm liable to forget too, so don't worry about it.
All right, well, happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, so Corey Garrett is going to take over as the new pitcher for the Braves. His 19th game, 0-1 with a 1.69 earned run average. He'll take over for Tommy Hansen to face Carlos Ruiz with a runner at 3rd and 1 out. I think that's partly because of the swing Ruiz had on Hansen last time, Wheels?
Yeah, and I think the other part of it is what you were alluding to a little bit. His pitch count wasn't that high, but they may be in. Let me put it this way. This could be in as a base hit and an RBI. I was going to say an experimentation. Try some things right now, and also not to have their starters throw that many more innings.
73 pitches for Tommy Hansen. He watches Guerin give up the RBI to finish off his line for the night.
Yeah, they may wait to see Guerin against a right-hander there in a big situation. Give him a little better idea what he can handle. And also, they're at the point right now where they're going to be setting up their pitchers for postseason.
Freddie Gonzalez said today that by Sunday or Monday, he may have an idea of how they're going to set up the rotation for the final 9 games of the season.
Right, and they always, I'm sure, because Phillies have been through this so much, Tom, over the last few years. They have an idea right now on innings, on how much they want these guys to pitch the rest of the way.
Dominic Brown is the batter. Freddie Gonzalez was asked yesterday about who he would pitch in the wild card as Brown hits it in the air to right field. Hayward's going back. He's got a beat on it and makes the catch. And for the first time, he said that in his mind it would most likely be Medlin or Hudson in the 1-game playoff or the wild card.
And we talked about that on the air the other night. I think it would, we'll see their decision, of course, on what they want to do. But you would think it would be Medlin, but with respect to Hudson, to throw his name in there, because he certainly deserves it.
2 away here in the 6th. Phillies up 5-1.
But if you were to lose in a 1-game playoff with a pitcher as hot as Medlin and not use him, that would be hard to answer.
The other side of it, though, is if folks might say, well, why would you use a youngster when you have a seasoned veteran?
Oh, yeah.
Can't win.
You can't. But that's one of the great things about this sports is second guessing or first guessing.
On the count to John Mayberry, 0 for 2. He's grounded out. He struck out. Inside, 1-1. Tied him up with a sinker. It's 2-2.
And when this guy drops down, right-hand pitcher drops down the way that Guerin does, hitters' eyes think, I'm getting a breaking ball. And then all of a sudden they can run a sinker in on you. Really get an awkward swing. There's Roger McDowell's done such a good job with them. Their pitching coach replacing Leo Mazzoni. Now it's been a while. Saw him downstairs, and Roger just makes you laugh just looking at him. I think about what a clown he used to be, and now he's so serious. And I said that to him, you know, that and all that much that you were around, you turned out to be the sane one. He went, not really. Boy, is he fun. What a practical joker and prankster that guy was.
Some of his players still say he has a little bit of that left in him.
See how he could not have it in him.
Ruiz is going to go on this pitch. It's 3-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And Mayberry's down on strikes. And the side is retired. But the Phillies tack on one more with an RBI single from Ruiz. Hanson's evening is complete. We go to the 7th.
Well, Phil's having a little fun with the long ball here tonight, hitting 3. And they lead this game by a score of 5-1. Carlos Ruiz knocked in a couple of runs. Tommy Hanson now gone after 5 1/3 innings. Kevin Franson, Ryan Howard, Carlos with the homers. Kyle Kendrick has been really, really solid here tonight.
Well, Kyle will go back to work here in the 7th inning. He's retired 11 consecutive hitters. Wheels 10 ground ball outs for Kyle Kendrick.
Yeah, what a difference when you look down at 253 left-handed hitters against him now and 262 right-handed hitters. He was somewhere in the 360s for a long time. I would say maybe even more than that at times with left-handed hitters, and such a difference.
Freddie Freeman is 0 for 1. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Team would just stock their lineups with left-handed hitters, and he really didn't have anything to get him out consistently. Now this changeup he does.
Well, give Kyle credit too, because you could be stubborn or you could be open-minded, and he was certainly open-minded to make the adjustments to throw a pitch like that, a two-seamer that ran back on the inner half, and to throw his changeup. And you know, Charlie had a conversation with him. Rich Dubie's had a million conversations with him. 1-2 the count to Freeman. Swing and a miss. He got him with a changeup.
Well, one thing about Kyle Kendrick, now Freeman's pointing that ball hit the ground.
I didn't think it did.
And it didn't. About Kyle Kendrick, been around him so long, he is such an adaptable guy. All the different roles they've had for him. Does it hit the ground? Nope. A little dirt there. Chooch pulls up with a ball at the same time, but that guy right there, you know, they bounce him back and forth, bullpen, starter, all the things. Never complained. He's always been a professional about it, and I think a lot of people around here have admired him for that.
He's ahead of Dan Uggla, 0-1.
The easiest thing in the world to do is complain and moan about things when they don't go your way.
And not work to get better.
Yeah. I mean, he even went back to the minor leagues for a while.
Almost a full year.
Yeah.
1-1 the count to Dan Uggla. And it turned out to be a fruitful trip, because that's where Justin Lair showed him the grip of his changeup. And those numbers anybody would take right there. Sounds strange, but the grip that he uses is kind of the grip that Justin Lair taught him or showed him, former pitcher for the Phils. And the changeup has been very good for him.
Well, it's better now than it's ever been, and he has confidence, and he'll throw it at any time, and he'll walk hitters out of the zone with it too. That's what's really impressive to watch.
1-2 pitch to Uggla. Inside 2-2.
The old thing about baseball is you get ahead in the count with strikes, and you get them out with balls, and that's what a good pitcher will do: get ahead and then walk the guy out of the zone with pitches that are not strikes to get him to chase. That grip was really good to see there from the center field camera. You don't know if he's going to stay with it the whole time, but that was a two-seam sinker grip, and you could see that ball with a little comeback sinker that he tried to throw for a strike.
Christian Martinez is the right-hander. Avilan is the one talking to Eddie Perez in the bullpen. He's a lefty. 3-2 the count to Dan Uggla. Opposite way, Dominic Brown. Will he get to it? He dives and he can't get to it. Uggla's on his way to second. He'll stop there. Second double of the night for Uggla. And McBillmeyer will answer the phone, get somebody up and throwing. Looks like it'll be Jeremy Horst. These lucky fans out in left field are tonight's Citizens Center. They will reach to see the prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com.
Rays can be very explosive. You won't take any chances if Kendrick gets into trouble here late in the game to make sure somebody's up. This guy at the plate is about as explosive anybody they've ever had play in this ballpark.
DeFreitas is the right-hander, and Horst is the left-hander. That double, by the way, from Uggla ended a stretch of 12 in a row retired by Kendrick. 0-1 the count to Brian McCann.
You don't see Uggla hit too many doubles in the right field corner. You talk about a pull hitter.
Accidental double.
I think so on a 3-2 count. Yeah. It's not like he had an emergency swing. One thing about Kendrick, he just committed for the most part, stay away to these left-handed hitters. And they just are not adjusting to him to this point. They still keep opening up and looking to pull something that's going to come middle in, and they're not getting it.
Ground ball right side. He broke his bat, and he'll get the second out of the inning.
Same thing. Change up away. McCann in pull mode hits a weak ground ball to second. Here you see the dead fish change up down the way. Watch McCann open up early. He's thinking about pulling. Probably hit a home run like he's done so often here. Right off the end of the bat. Good out there for Kyle.
Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. With 2 outs, Constanza is the batter. Overbay's on deck to bat for the pitcher. Off the end of the bat, he broke his bat. It's going to drop for a hit, and a run will score on a base hit by Constanza. Ugla cruises from third, and it's a 5-2 ball game.
It's a big run for the Braves there to get that, because Kyle made a real good pitch. Like another changeup, another broken bat. Now they're deciding what they want to do here. Here comes Overbay out to pinch hit, and now they look and see who the right-handed hitters are. Here comes Charlie, and they look and see the right-handed hitters, or they bring Horst in, and which matchup do they want? It looks like they want the lefty. Here's that pitch. Real good pitch, down and away, right off the end of the bat. What are you going to do about that?
It turns out to be an RBI, and maybe the last hitter for Kyle Kendrick. Charlie's out to the mound. Bullpen door is not open just yet. And he just told him good job. That's going to be it. And Kyle's going to get a very nice round of applause, and rightfully so. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen. Fans appreciative with the Phils needing every victory possible. And every outing for the starting pitchers is a big one. Kyle tonight, he certainly delivered for the Phillies. Jeremy Horst is coming in for the Phils. So an AT&T call to the bullpen here in Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies on top by 3.
Fans coming to Tuesday night's Goya Latino Family Celebration are encouraged to bring non-perishable food, especially Goya food products, for a food drive. Goya will match the amount donated up to 5,000 pounds. For information on the event, visit Phillies.com/theme nights. Reed Johnson will pinch hit for Lyle Overbay, who was pinch hitting for the pitcher, as the Phillies bring Jeremy Horst into the ballgame. Johnson on the year, a .300 hitter with 3 homers and 20 RBIs. And he takes the low 1-0.
And that's something they go over on the bench. You want Kendrick to pitch to Overbay, or you bring the left-hander in. You know you're going to get a right-hander off their bench. Who's it going to be, as you see his numbers there? And they decided they'd rather go this route.
Right-hander hitting just .204 against Horst. Fly ball left center field. Playable for Pierre or Mayberry, and it's Mayberry who calls and puts it away. 2 pitches, the final out is recorded. A run scores on a base hit by Constanza. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia. The Phillies up by 3. His answer. All right, Wheels, here you go. Name the pitcher the Braves wanted to select instead of Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones with the first overall pick in the 1990 draft.
Hint, please.
He was a highly touted high school pitcher from Texas.
Was he a left-hander?
He was not. He had a great name, though.
Oh, Van. Right. Oh, I can see him right now. Big, tall, skinny guy.
Yeah. Oakland A's took him.
I'm thinking of David Clyde before that, but no. I know it's not David Clyde. No. I'm well aware of that.
Oakland A's took him.
Yeah. I can't think of it. Todd Van Poppel
is correct.
Bing.
Log back on the Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
I knew it was Van something. Thank you.
As we go to the home 7th, Luis Avilan is the new pitcher for the Braves.
Remember Todd Van Poppel? David Clyde. What a great prospect he was. He was a big, hard-throwing lefty from Texas.
Yep.
Paid a fortune for him, and he kind of flamed out quick.
Avilan's numbers: no wins, no losses, an ERA of 2.10.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive in games in Atlanta last time the Phillies were there.
Ground ball to third. Chipper Jones charges. The thing about Avilan is that he's different from O'Flaherty and Venters in his style, but it gives them another left-hander. Ty Wigginton will be announced as the pitch hitter for the Phillies here in the 7th.
get to 233 with 11 home runs and 43 runs batted in. Here's Antonio Bastardo. It looks like he'll pitch the 8th inning, at least to start.
Another good job by Horst to come in there and get the job done after they decided to go on the matchups and take whoever they brought off the bench right-handed as opposed to Overbay hitting there off Kendrick, who may have been getting a little tired. They got it done again. Good job.
Livingston hits it to center. He hits it pretty well. Bourne on the run, turns around and is there to make the catch.
So fast. Those guys start turning around like that, they're not going to get to the ball. That takes a lot of time off your route that you're trying to run there. So Michael Bourne can just outrun the ball. You see him take a deep breath there because he knows he was in trouble in this one. Ty hits it really hard to center, and Michael's playing fairly shallow. Watch him start twisting and turning around out there. Turn one way, turn the other way, turns back, and catches it. Even he's going, I don't know if I was going to get that one.
Rollins is 0 for 3. 1-0 the count. Jimmy commits to this ball game, riding a 6-game hitting streak. Fly ball left center field. Bourne is out there in the alley. A couple of long fly ball outs for the Phillies, and it's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 7th inning. We go to the 8th. The Phillies bullpen needs 6 outs to secure the win. Of the game.
It's a terrific play by Chase Utley. All these ground balls tonight by Kyle. That's Costanza hit that, and he can fly. Chase had to do everything perfectly. He did. Ryan Howard got his foot stepped on by Costanza when he went by the bag right there. Thankfully, he was okay, especially that ankle, too, that was repaired.
That's our Liberty Mutual defensive play of the game. Responsibility, what's your policy? Switches or changes for the Phillies defensively. Don Brown moves from right field to left field. And Nate Sherholtz. So this has been a common occurrence for the Phillies late in the ball game. He's in to play right field. Antonio Bastardo is the new pitcher. Bastardo 2-5 this year with an ERA of 4.56. Certainly better lately than he was in the middle of the season. And nobody else is warming up in the bullpen, so it looks like this is his inning. He'll face the top of the order, Bourne, Prado, and Hayward. In a 5-2 ball game.
Up and down season for Antonio Bastardo, a guy they're really counting on to be good around here.
Ground ball to second. Helpful way to start the 8th inning.
Yeah, and the struggles of a Michael Bourne continues, and that's an example of a guy down by a team down by some runs with a leadoff guy like him. When he's going good, he's going to wait up there, take some pitches, try to walk, try to get on. When he's not going good the way that he is, you see him shaking his head. He's thinking about hitting early because he doesn't want to get down in the count because he's not confident.
As he mentioned the other day, he's been through slumps before, so he knows what it takes to get out of them. Except this one's a big one. He's 4 for his last 38, and that's only part of the story.
Yeah, he's a table setter who should be up there taking a pitch, especially off a guy like Bastardo who's had so many control problems this year. But when you're not swinging well, you'll see a lot of guys, they're going to swing early in the count because they don't want to get down in the count.
0-1 the count to Martin Prado. 0-2. Nice catch down below, although she left him hanging. He was looking for a high five from somebody. That does not qualify for fans' moments of the game.
Can they be grandfathered for next year, or is it over?
It's over, I believe. There's a base hit to right for Prado.
That guy's a hit machine.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Honda. Visit your Honda dealer right now for great deals. Only a Honda is a Honda. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. By Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Now with one out, Jason Hayward, who's 0 for 3.
A lot of success tonight staying away from Hayward. Kyle did a tremendous job throwing him changeups and having him fishing all night.
A foul ball. Kyle Kendrick tonight 6 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. And Philippe Almont is in the bullpen. 0-2 the count to Hayward.
Yeah, the only way you see Almont coming into this inning is if you get to Uggla. You certainly don't want to get that far. Jones, you don't want him batting left-handed. Then Freeman, who's left-handed hitter, and then Uggla.
Wasted one outside, a fastball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hayward. Prado has stolen 17 bases this year. He's been caught 4 times.
You don't want to see him slow the game down too much. Now, if they're giving him throwovers, that's different. But Bastardo has a habit of doing that. Sometimes it works. Other times he gets himself into problems.
A topper off the plate. In the dirt, Ruiz keeps it in front of him, and it's 2-2. Carlos going to walk the baseball out to Bastardo. Now the Phillies have added another pitcher in the bullpen to start warming up. With one out here in the 8th inning, Jonathan Papelbon is up and throwing.
And he could be up for ugly.
He could be up for Chipper Jones.
Yeah. Well,
didn't go well the last time, I understand.
Really would rather him hitting right-handed. Not that he's an out. Not that he's an out, but you're at that point in the season, you know, when you would think about using him in the 8th inning with 2 outs, and it would be hopefully 2 outs if you got to ugly.
2-2 the count to Freeman. Swing and a miss. He got him with a slider. Smothered by Ruiz. 7 strikeouts for Phillies pitching.
They're really doing a good job of burying this guy away today. Great job by Kendrick, as we mentioned, with changeups and sinkers. And now Antonio, he stayed away from him the whole at bat. See how far off the plate he is. And he will chase out there if he can get ahead of him.
Chipper Jones will bat right-handed against Bastardo. 14 home runs this year overall. 60 runs batted in. 0 for 3 in the game with a runner at first here in the top of the 8th inning.
Swings early when these count in these situations. Not at that.
Carlos Ruiz just reminded Bastardo to keep that shoulder closed. Slider for strike 1, 1-1. Fly ball foul. It's even now 2-2 to Chipper Jones.
You'll see him late on more fastballs right-handed than left-handed. Left-handed, he's not late on them, even at this point in his career. Right-handed, once in a while. Well, this is the pitch of the at-bat that they want to throw here. You throw a slider because then you have to think, I may have to throw another one. He was a little late on a fastball then.
Rado leads off first. The 2-2 pitch to Chipper Jones.
Swing and a miss. He threw him a slider. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bastardo. Big time pitching in a big moment here in the top of the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts to wrap up the top of the 8th. We head to the bottom of the 8th in Philadelphia. The Phillies on top 5-2. Hamill's action figurine, courtesy of Total Performance Engine Oils, will be given out free to fans 14 and under. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Avilan will stay in the ball game as Eric Kratz will pinch hit for the Phils. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, they do have Chad Durbin up in the bullpen, but you've got Utley and Howard up behind Kratz. So I guess instead of warming up Venters and O'Flaherty, although O'Flaherty was up before, they decide to stay with Avilan to see if he can get through Kratz.
Chad Durbin's had a good year for them in his role.
He was out there today with the other relief pitchers, leading them in their sprinting and their calisthenics long before the Braves came out to take batting practice. Then he started running through the stadium.
Yeah, he's really happy with what's happened over there this year, catching up to him a little bit tonight. He's done a very good job for them. And what he's most proud of is that he's part of that really good bullpen they have.
I don't know where the ball is, Wheels. He brought his glove, but I think it was hit just too hard for him to even see it coming. That's what happens when you wear sunglasses at night, Wheels.
On your head.
Right. It's 2-1 to Kratz.
Thankfully, that didn't hit somebody.
3-1.
Eric Kratz is in a little bit of a slump right now, but has hit the ball great in this ballpark.
It's a pretty good swings last night.
Yeah, and he got hit by a pitch, forced in a run. 4 runs the Phillies got that way last night. 2 bases loaded, walks, 2 hit by pitches with the bases loaded. That was really high.
Amazingly high. And the first out is in the books. And now Chase Utley. Comcast Sportsnet has total coverage of the Eagles-Cardinals matchup. Before the game, former Eagle Leonard Weaver joins Michael Barkan, Ray Dittinger, and Ed Rendell on Eagles pregame live. Sunday starting at 3, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Eagles are out in Arizona, a beautiful facility where the Arizona Cardinals play.
Good year, right?
I
That's a good question. No, I don't think it's called Goodyear.
Maybe that's where the complex they built out there for the two teams.
Yeah.
We've flown over that.
It's University of Phoenix Stadium.
Yeah, we've flown over that thing a few times heading west out of Arizona, and it's big.
I did a couple of football games there last year, and it's
Glendale. How about Glendale?
It's in Glendale. It's really a great place. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Eagle fans out there because I remember doing an Eagle-Steelers game there last year, and it was 75% Steelers fans.
Cardinal Steelers, yeah. And
Cardinal Steelers.
And that's a great city to go to, too. Not only to go out there and see your team play, see the Eagles play, but Phoenix. Good spot.
2-0 the count to Chase Utley. And it's 2-1. Utley tonight is 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, an RBI.
How do you hit a fastball over his dugout? That's unusual.
He was ahead of it.
It's usually something that's slow when you do that.
Utley hits it in the air to right field. It's deep. Hayward just gives it a courtesy look. It is gone. Solo home run for Chase Utley. It's his 11th of the year. And the Phillies are bringing out the solo shots tonight. He's one away for 200 for his career. 6-2 Phillies.
Yeah, we're going to have some big-time home runs coming up pretty soon. Milestone home runs for two guys, Howard and Utley. Well, I don't know. Maybe he was just cheating on a fastball. And that's how he hooked that ball into his own dugout. But he got out in front of this fastball. Looks like it's a little bit in on him, too. And the hips clear. Watch the hips clear. Pitches in. Boy, the hips were out of the way there. And he lines this ball out of the ballpark. That was impressive.
Nice catch.
That was impressive, too. People are wasting them right now. They don't get on the. It's such a great feature to watch last night. All those tremendous plays and a few that weren't so hot.
4 home runs in a game for the Phils. That's a season high.
Can you imagine how many people were calling each other, calling their friends like, "You were just on."
How about the 2 folks that got hit in the head?
Oh, that's why I said some weren't perfect.
The lady that got doused by the beer.
Yeah.
And the ball was caught in the cup.
Some really funny ones. Good stuff. Great play by the ball girl down the left field line.
Genevieve. Marcy. Well, Marcy made a nice play too.
Those were included in there.
Check swing by Howard. He went.
Luckily, there were none that came near the booth that could have been made fun of for ducking.
Well, because the Cardinals lost earlier today, the Phillies are 3.5 behind St. Louis for the wild card. A win tonight, they'd move to within 3. The Brewers are trailing the Nats right now in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Wonder who's going to come in and pitch now, too, because that home run took it out of a save situation.
Well, Papelbon is still warming up in the pen.
Well, he was heated up, so I guess they're going to use him.
Oh, it won the count to Ruiz.
There he is.
Got a piece of Paul Emmel, the home plate umpire, hit him in the shin guard. Good night for Carlos. 15 home runs now, 62 runs batted in. Look at his on-base percentage. I know he's been hit by a lot of pitches. He's worked out a lot of walks, but .402 on-base percentage. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it for the 8th inning. The Phillies tack on an insurance run, though, on Chase Utley's 11th home run of the season. He timed it beautifully, opened his hips, and sent that ball from Avilon into the seats in right center field. Complete recap and highlights, plus former Phils pitcher Ricky Metallico offers his insight on the playoff push for the Phillies. Watch Phillies postgame live, presented by Pure Auto Insurance, right here after the game. Top of the 9th inning, it's a 6-2 ball game, non-save situation. And Jonathan Papelbon is in, trying to get the last 3 outs and give the Phils the victory here at Citizens Bank Park. 5-6, an ERA of 2.37, 82 strikeouts in 64 2/3. And he will face Freddie Freeman, Dan Uggla, Brian McCann. Those are the 3 hitters scheduled up for the Braves. Phillies have won 7 straight here at Citizens Bank Park. And they're trying to make it 8 in a row. More importantly, talking with Charlie today, we were taping his television show, talking about the number of games that are left. He said, listen, mathematically, the Phillies are still alive. He goes, we could do it. He goes, there's no question we could do it, but we have to take care of the only thing that we have control of, and that is each and every game. And tonight, with 4 home runs, 1 by Howard, 1 by Utley, 1 by Franzen, and a 4th one by Carlos Ruiz, they're taking care of things, at least up to this point.
And they have 6 games in a row here at home now against 2 very tough opponents in the Braves and the Nats. 2 teams will get your attention.
Freddie Freeman's 0 for 2 today with a walk and a run scored. Fly ball foul. It's 0-1.
Phillies in the division this year, Tom, lost 20 games to the Braves and the Mets. 20. And that's something that over the last few years they've dominated the division, and as a result they've been playing in October.
Well, and with all the success they've had in the second half, they've been better against the division in the second half, but they've had so much
that's 20
ground to make up.
That's 20 losses.
That's a lot
right there to 2 teams.
Oh, and 1 the count to Freeman.
You're talking about trying to make up 2, 3, 4 games at the end of the year, and you look at those losses right there. Just cut them in half. There'll be a lot of ifs this year.
1-1 the count
To supply your own adrenaline now as a closer when you come into this situation. He sure tried with the music and the noise when he came in to help him out a little bit.
I think the other part that helps is how important these games are.
Sure. This time of the year, it's all hands on deck, whatever it takes to win the game. That's why he was warming up to potentially come into the game in the 8th inning.
2-1 the count to Freddie Freeman. Swing and a miss. 95 on that fastball. Foul ball just off the glove of Ruiz. And Freeman stays alive. Tomorrow, Roy Halladay will be on the mound. He'll be opposed by left-hander Mike Minor. Minor's been good for the Braves since the All-Star break. Tall left-hander.
Yeah. Good changeup. Play the Braves in this ballpark, 4 runs is to a manager's like a save situation, even though it isn't statistically. There's Cliff Leo pitch Sunday. Charlie's talked about that a lot over the years, that he considers 4 runs almost a save if he has his closer.
Three and 2 the count now to Freeman. Ugla is in the on deck circle. Behind him is McCann. To left field. That's pretty well hit. Brown is out there. Has a little bit of room.
Very little.
One away. It's a nice long out.
Yeah, to a nice long tall player. Dominic Brown got to the wall under control, reached up and caught it. Here it is. Freddie Freeman got a fastball, lost it. He knew where the wall was. Good play.
I don't know. He looks like he's got his own adrenaline going.
Yeah, he's got a nice expression there, like, well, suppose to catch that.
Here's Ugla, who's 2 for 3.
Get me that out.
2 doubles tonight and a run scored. And a slider for strike 1. Kind of a surprising pitch if you're Dan Ugla. Threw him a high fastball. It's 1-2. Center field. John Mayberry's out there. It's playable. A few steps from the track, and there are 2 outs here in the 9th inning. 1 out to go. Brian McCann is 0 for 3 with an RBI. He drove in the first run for the Braves. That was back in the 2nd. The outfield and center and left, they play him to go the other way. The infield plays him to pull slightly on the right side, more so on the left side. And the pitch from Papelbon to start the at-bat. Slider, and it's 0-1. Not a bad spot for that fastball, just a tad outside. 1-1. Down in Washington, the Brewers have a runner at third with 1 out in the top of the 9th. Nationals up 2-1. 2-1 the count to McCann.
It started with a bunt single by Aoki. Testing Zimmerman, who's having a lot of shoulder problems.
Two balls, 1 strike to count to Brian McCann. That evens up the count 2-2. $44,052, a sellout on their feet as the Phils try to take game 1 against the Braves.
Continue this good run at home they've had lately.
Swing and a miss. He got him. 8 in a row here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies win it by a final of 6-2, and they continue to keep their playoff hopes alive. They take game 1, and they do so with a rather impressive surge of offense. 4 solo home runs. Utley, Howard, Franzen, and Carlos Ruiz. All of that backed wonderful pitching tonight from Kyle Kendrick, who earned his 10th win of the year. Oh, a nice way to start the final homestand of the 2012 regular season. To take game 1 from the Atlanta Braves are W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
Yeah, as Tom said, 4 solo homers. Started with Kevin Franzen, golfed that one out. Long home run to left center field, got the Phillies rolling. Then here's Ryan Howard, got himself a slider down, hit it out to deep right center field. That's home run number 2. Here's number 3. Carlos Ruiz follows that home run with one of his own into the first row out there in left center. And then Chase Utley got himself a middle-in fastball. He turned on that on a hurry off that left-hander Avilan. He hit it out. 4 solo home runs for the Phillies tonight. 6 runs in all. They beat them 6-2. That's our W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
All right, so the wild card standings look like this. The Phils are now 3 games behind the St. Louis Cardinals, who lost in extra innings earlier today. And as Charlie said, all we can control is our own games, and they certainly controlled tonight. So did Kevin Franzen, who's down on the field with Murph. Murph, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. Yeah, 1 of 4 solo home runs tonight, one of them off the bat of Kevin Franzen. I will tell you that both Tom McCarthy and Chris Wheeler predicted you were going to hit a home run in that very moment, and you came through. And it almost looked as though you knew what was coming. You really delivered on that.
They should have gone to Vegas then right after this, you know. No, hey, it was a situation where I had a feeling that it could happen, and, you know, a fastball would come, and did I guess right? I don't know if I guessed right. I reacted to it, and luckily, you know, I was trying to hit it hard. I'm not trying to hit home runs, but fortunate enough that went over the fence, so it was good.
You know, this team obviously has been on a roll in the second half of the season, and part of it is the way you're playing here at the ballpark. 8 wins in a row here at home. Is there anything you guys can put your finger on to why you were able to turn it around and play so well here at Citizens Bank Park in the second half?
Well, they kept on believing in us, the fans. They're here every night. I mean, that's easy to do. You know, you go on the road, these places, and there's empty houses everywhere, and we come, you know, even when we're 14 games under 500, this place was packed, and you know, believing in good baseball, and, you know, we've turned that into good wins, and, you know, as we crept up in there, it's a big reason for them, you know, them showing up and, you know, providing us a lot of support.
You know, I know the mantra is one game at a time, and that's how you guys have to approach it as you finish up this season. However, you find yourself, you know, there was an early game this afternoon that affects you guys. There's a game going on right now. You find yourself watching those scoreboards as you guys creep up?
Yeah, you do. But, I mean, like, we got to take care of business. If we take care of us, you know, when we win here, then everything's fine. But, you know, if they, you know, the teams in front of us lose and we don't win, that doesn't make a difference. So we got to take care of business for ourselves. And then, you know, hopefully someone else does some things for us.
Are they coming in behind us? I saw you laughing. Kevin, congratulations. Enjoy it with your teammates. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Here's the pitch from Jonathan Papelbon to wrap up the game. Brian McCann goes down swinging. Watch the reaction from the crowd and the reaction from Jonathan Papelbon as the Phils win the opener.